So you're going to let me record now instead of when you were talking about the health plan you had when you were a pimp for your hookers.
That is correct.
Okay, that's correct. Okay.
Because I took care of I took care of my women and did not call them hookers. They were very high class women that were empowered and sex positive and
Okay.
were completely in charge and had complete and total body autonomy, like it should be.
Right. I'm Fartles Dipthong.
And I'm still Dookie, I guess.
Yes. Kind of sprung that on Eric. I didn't. Oh, by the way, I'm going to go by Fartles Dipthong this time. So, a lot of comments about
James.
What's that?
Okay, Bartles and James.
Yeah. I'm sorry, you just tripped my head back to flashbacks of the 80s, mid to late 80s. Although I've never drank, so I never had their stuff. A lot of comments about Without Someone. Also get some back comments about, what was the last song? Sorrow About to Fall. One of them was from
back sass on that one too.
Well, one of them was Corey, who was cut off at the end of his comment.
Okay.
And he said, hey, this is what I said, and this was the better part of my comment. Because apparently something didn't copy and paste when I did it last week. So to finish Corey's comment, as much as I like, and that's where it was cut off last week, Jib Khan interpretation, I think the only nuclear incident going on here is Jeff's imploding the E.L.O. spaceship, like one of those hotel demolishing videos. So that finishes Corey's. And if you wonder what it was, hey, I set up a YouTube channel, the Electric Light Orchestra podcast. It's on YouTube, every single episode, and all the Zoomcasts are there too. So I just get that plug in for that.
Have they already demonetized everything?
Yeah. Although wait, I think I can make money from the Zoomcast ones if,
We actually can, because my plan for kind of doing a music related Zoomcast thing with me and being me all lonely and forgotten.
Right.
Basically, that's about what it entails. Is since so many people seem to be able to get away with just sitting there with a record next to them talking about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, there's all the episodes have copyright claims except the Zoomcasts, but it's just you're not going to make any money. Whatever advertising that pops up, that goes to the copyright holders. There's only a couple episodes that are still held up because they use Beatle snippets, and I had to file a thing saying, look, it's fair use. We just use little snippets for discussion purposes. So we'll see how that works out. Ira Libov wrote something too. And apparently I forgot about this. After hearing the songs from Balance of Power again, I am finding that I like them individually more than I remember. It is sad, though, since he could have done so much more with them. The lack of strings is disappointing. I will say that his voice never sounded better. He sounds so confident in his vocals, more so than at any time. Oh, now I see why I didn't include that in the thing. That probably should have been on the bonus tracks for Balance of Power, because it covers the album, not a song. Okay. Well, that's done and out of the way then. Okay.
Yeah. I find your lack of strings disappointing.
Yeah, I did too. But now comments about Without
That's
Someone.
about as close as I'm going to get to a James Earl Jones voice.
I'm going to rip the Dolby out of... Stop giving me that Flash Player update notice. All right. Without Someone, comments about that.
Okay. Trevor Raggett says, dull, 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 dull. Very generic, too. So many hackneyed, cookie-cutter 80s pop keyboard burbles in the background. A bit instantly forgettable, too. Did I mention dull? Well, the E.L.O.ness lasts a full 10 seconds, and then we're straight into 101 80s pop ballads compilation CD territory, hidden near the end of disc 3, where they're really running out of decent content. And I've got to disagree with EPJ, I think. The harmonies aren't in the slightest bit ELO-ish at all, is ELO-ish either. 80s Foreigner, though, absolutely. Jeff Jeff seems to want to know what love is, and he wants us to show him. Except that's a better song, and it's got that cool gospel choir at the end. Dull.
Wow, he hates that song. I mean, yeah, I can see 80s pop ballad, pressed from a mold, but kind of every song on this thing sounds like mid 80s pressed from a mold. Here's your songs. Scott Maggie. Scott Maggie. Everyone to their own, but I personally love it. And it's good this song is getting a bit of attention.
And Tracer Anthony says, if one were to boil down Balance of Power song list to keep or throw out, I believe that Without Someone is a keeper. It's a moody, haunting little chill-out piece where I can easily imagine in my mind's eye the song's protagonist walking on a rainy and cold street corner at night, reflecting upon their own personal misery. The song fairly oozes the impressions of melancholia and regret quite effectively, in my opinion.
I would have to agree with Tracy on all of that. Those are the images I've always gotten too. Steve Monahan. Balance of Power tracks seem to be getting some bad press on a number of E.L.O. FB sites at the moment, and I can't understand why. Okay, it's not classic E.L.O. and can't compare to Out of the Blue, A New World Record, or Face the Music. But it's a good album, and there's not a bad track on it. I think the relatively inferior quality reflects Jeff's mood and where he was with the band in general, and nowhere is this more prevalent than in the lyrics of Getting to the Point, which is an excellent song, and the lyrics can fit a number of situations we can find ourselves in. Are you still there? Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. And then Terry Parkin says, I think it's a great song, along with Sorrow About to Fall, are among the best deep cuts on Balance of Power. I don't think this is anywhere near Sorrow About to Fall. Maybe this was the sorrow that was about to fall was this song. So
I don't remember if you liked it or not. I forgot to listen to the episode before.
It was okay. I had it was okay type of reaction to it. I wouldn't throw it away, but I wouldn't go out of my way to listen to it very often.
You wouldn't think, sweet Jesus, I got to hear Without Someone.
Exactly.
Right. G. Brewer, I love Without Someone. It sounds great and creates a moody vibe in my head. Oh, wait, my headphones are tangled up in my face mask again. I love this song.
And Mike Hudson says, I think this is one of the best tracks on Balance of Power. When I hear tracks like this, I think I may have unfairly judged the album at times. No, it's not traditional E.L.O. No strings, not quite as catchy as the 70s era E.L.O., but it's still a good song. I like the opening of the song. The descending keyboard pattern evokes a sort of nautical feel to me. I'm not exactly sure why, but I've always heard it this way. The same keyboard sound also comes back during the guitar solo and plays a supporting role in the background. The nautical sound I mentioned kind of harks back to the whale in an offhanded way. Some of the other keyboards in the song make me think of more spacey type atmosphere, along the lines of Mission, A New World Record. I'm not saying anything in the song sounds like either of those songs. It just creates a similar feeling when I listen to it. I like how Jeff also borrows from past E.L.O. in the beginning of this by applying a reverse delay effect to the first word of the song. He used a very similar technique over a decade earlier on Dreaming of 4000. I'm hard-pressed to think if Jeff ever used the same effect on any other E.L.O. song. On Dreaming of 4000, the delay repeats are slower and at the same pitch as the first word of the song, which is Savior. In Without Someone, the delay repeats are quicker and it actually starts out on a slightly higher pitch and reduces to the normal pitch on the word I. Without Someone is an understated song. Jeff's vocal is more sedate compared to most other E.L.O. tracks, but it doesn't sound tired. It has a mournful type sound. It's refreshing. It's not as in your face as a lot of E.L.O. songs, but it has an interesting melody. EPJ mentioned the song has a lot of whizzits. I really like those percussion jabs in the verses. At the ends of the verses, it has those cool synthesizer sweeps, which are reminiscent of a number of prior E.L.O. songs. And I am inclined to think that a fair bit of the percussion track on the song is actually Bev on real drums. I'm not 100% sure about the kick drum and snare, but I think Bev is playing everything else, maybe all of it. One of my favorite parts of the song is a guitar solo. It's a very simple solo. There's not really much to it at all. In fact, there are actually only 7 notes to the entire solo. He sustains certain notes, bends some of them, and the final note is a slow finger vibrato. But it's amazing. So much done with so little. And the choice of digital delay effect that he uses to enhance the solo is simply brilliant. It's very dreamy and surreal. I love solos like this. So much of the time when a guitarist plays a solo, they try to jam as many notes as they can into 15 seconds. Or they play a super long 5-minute jam. There's nothing wrong with that as long as it sounds good. But when a guitar player can pack so much feeling into so little, that's even better. Well, I think the nautical sound is because a lot of people like to take balance of power and bury it at sea. The spacey sound is because a number of other people would like to just launch it.
I don't want to say too much because, we got our Balance of Power bonus tracks episode coming up. So maybe I changed my mind. You'll have to wait until, I think it ends at the last Saturday of, or post the last Saturday of the year. So you got to wait. Yeah, I like Mike's comments. He covers all the kind of stuff that we miss when we're talking about it. Yeah, I love that guitar solo. And I never counted the notes before. And it's like, yeah, you're right. Only 7 notes, but he does some pretty cool stuff with those 7 notes. So, and I never noticed the whale similarities. Yeah, that's pretty cool too. I hadn't noticed that before, but now I did. So, if anything should happen to Winsensen, I should get Mike as the co-host. JibCon.
Keep in mind, I live in Arizona. Keep in mind if anybody's trying to come at me.
Oh yeah, that's right. You can get guns out of vending machines in Arizona. So
exactly,
pick them off of trees.
Only like the little 25 purse models and stuff like that.
You can pick them off of trees. They kind of grow wild out there.
Yeah, I was out the other day just cruising around in the desert looking for a 9mm tree.
Yep, I remember that.
But they're not in bloom this time of year.
It's winter time. Well, Arizona winter, so you're gonna need to heavier gun that generates more warmth, I guess. I don't know where I'm going with this because I'm not a gun guy. So we're just gonna move on. JibCon, one of E.L.O.'s most sublime ballads, hands down.
And Corey Gomel says, I like it. I love the intro. I love Jeff's voice, which slides into Roy Orbison mode in the song. Although I really would love to hear this version of this song that was produced in EPJ's head. While on vacation last Christmas, I took some video and it had car lights dancing off the ship's windows. And I immediately thought of this song.
I can see that. I didn't... We recorded this thing like, I don't know, 10 or 11 weeks ago. So I don't remember what we did. And I never got a chance to listen to it before we started doing this. So I'm thinking, wait, I have a version of this song in my head that's produced? In my head, and it's been like a year that it's been in my head and I've been trying to make this happen, the only produced E.L.O. song that I've been dying to slap together is an extended version of Turn to Stone, which would require an instrumental version, which is why I wish ENIAC would make an instrumental version of Turn to Stone, because he does amazing work. I would think it's just the E.L.O. song with the vocals stripped out of it, but he does some incredible. You check him out on YouTube. ENIAC, E.L.O. You'll see he's got all kinds of instrumentals of E.L.O. songs, and they sound dead right, spot on. So if you would just do one for Turn to Stone, then I could put the one in my head that I've had for the last year. I can make it reality and share it with all of you. The extended version, not a remix. I don't know if I said that. I'm already ready to just check out, so I'm just going to read Taz's comment, and that's the last one we have. Taz Barkley. Hi, guys. I really love this song. I like that sort of melancholy, dramatic 80s love songs, almost like ballads. This reminds me a lot of Captain of Her Heart by Double. I hadn't thought of that, but yeah, I can kind of see that. E.W. is right. It does have a moody blue sound to it. And I agree with Troy. I could picture that scenario in my mind of Jeff walking down the street whilst it's raining. Ha ha. But yes, this song really does give me goosebumps in a good way. Ta-ta for now. Yep.
Well, I guess a lot of people liked it a lot more than I did, even though like I said, I didn't hate it. So,
well, Trevor despised it. I believe it was Trevor, the first one, who said it was dull, 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 dull. Think another dull? Oh, and then there was a dull at
it's
the
an
end.
entire room full of dolls just looking at you.
Just nothing but dulls.
Yep.
Okay.
We'll leave everybody with that thought.
Yes. Just staring. Just staring. Oh, wait, here we go. Just staring.